Hello friends, and welcome to Figure Study, where we appreciate the form in Transformers. It's time to start talking about Super Ginrai, because why not? Only several months late to the party, right? So yes, Super Ginrai. I honestly had zero interest in Power Master Optimus Prime because he was just... he was just Ultra Magnus, which I already have with the upgrade kit, which is super awesome. And I didn't care to have that again. But Super Ginrai, a bit different, and I'm cool with the being different bit. And in my mind, it's like there were enough differences with the Power Master Optimus Prime and Ultra Magnus for it to be like, okay, if I were actually more into Power Master Optimus Prime, I probably would have gotten him anyway, even though they're basically the same mold. But the differences with Super Ginrai are even greater, so it just, yeah, that I went for. Plus, I saw the God Bomber armor, and I'm all like, oh, I want to get that, so we'll see what happens. I'm not entirely sure if I am going to end up getting the God Bomber armor or not. Haven't quite decided, because my interest in this has kind of waned a little bit, but doesn't mean to say it's bad. I'm getting ahead of myself. So, Super Ginrai as a truck is very much obviously meant to be Optimus Prime or Super Ginrai or whatever. I mean, you know, you've got the iconic trailer with the blue and white stripe and the Autobot logo, which is really tiny in this version for some reason, the Autobot logo, but I mean, that's fine. It still gets the point across. I do really like the coloring on this, and that was one of the things that attracted me to Super Ginrai over Power Master Optimus Prime, is that the reds and the grays are just a bit more vibrant looking. It just looks kind of muted on Power Master Optimus Prime. But here it looks really nice. And I like this sort of classic looking truck cap that they've got going here. It's a little bit still like not quite right, because this looks like, you know, normal Optimus Prime, but then you still have that other molding with like the ladder and the teeny tiny door, which implies that this cab is enormous, and so these windows would probably be like almost 2 stories, high, or if not 2 stories, be at least like, you know, in like the 12 to 15 to maybe even 20 foot range, and it's just a little bit absurd, but that's okay. I mean, it's got a lot of the same molding as Ultra Magnus, but then you've got the big boxy trailer, which I'm fine with. And back here, you know, it's some nice detail. I, of course, always appreciate the little washboard texture that they put there. That's not a whole lot going on the top, and also this unfortunate gap, but what are you going to do? And you can totally see into the trailer from the front there. But I think really the star of this mode is the cab, because it's just a very nice look. Like just the nicely painted, slightly bluish metallic windows and the silver accents all over the place. And of course, silver rims. I'm so glad they painted those, but it's the Takara release, so of course they did. Yeah, I mean, color-wise, it looks good. I like the more vibrant reds and the extra little details that were actually picked out. The texture, pretty good overall. It's not, you know, it's just like there are certain things, like the top is a little bit plain and also has divots in it, but they did mold stuff in those divots at least. The back is a little bit strange in that it's like blue instead of gray. I mean, I know they did that because of the robot mode, but, you know, it's a little bit weird that it's like the trailer in its entirety is gray and then the back is just blue. But yeah, I mean, it's not a bad looking truck mode. Not bad at all. And for a quick size comparison, bring in Samus there so you can see pretty big. It's a pretty big truck. I mean, realistically speaking, it's an enormous truck because, you know, again, you've got that teeny tiny little door down there. But yeah. And then also bring in a Titan's Return. Get you out of the way, get a Titan's Return Deluxe in there. I mean, he's basically the same size as Power Master Optimus Prime. So if you have that, or if you have the Combiner Wars Ultra Magnus, then you basically know what the overall size of this guy is. And that's... oh, wait, no, also wanted to point out, I like that they painted the smokestack silver. Forgot to mention that, but yeah, I like it. I like the color distribution that they got going on here. Anyway, let's get to robot mode. Oh boy, that was a bit more of an ordeal than I was prepared for, because I'm both a little bit out of practice transforming this guy, and also it's a little bit tricky to do at arm's length. So my apologies for that. And also, figure before we completely get Super Ginrai together, we should take a look at the Headmaster, or Titan Master. And here we go. As I understand it, I think this is just the same Titan Master that came with Power Master Optimus Prime, but much better color. Like, just the arms are red but have a little bit of blue, and like the legs, well, not a ton of paint. It is, there is some color differential, which is nice. And then the head actually does have a little bit of paint on it. So yeah, not a bad looking Titan Master. And then when you make him into a head, I do like how that little blue element kind of continues the Optimus Prime head kind of look there. So yeah. And then you also have sort of a cute little G1-esque Optimus Prime face. And that works. Now, bring him in here and attach him. And just like with all the Titans Return leaders, there's a little like slot back there that this little nubbin will fit into, just to kind of keep things steady. So you can see that just slots right back there. And then come over, and he's got a teeny tiny pinhead, which is why you want to use the helmet. And then also just going to reattach these to the shoulders, because I forgot to do that during transformation, and I did not want to refilm that. So just stick that on there. Stick that on there. And get him situated. Okay, so now we're officially there. There's Super Ginrai, and Super Ginrai does look very cool. It does not, like, there's nothing to this figure that really makes me think, oh, this is just Ultra Magnus. I mean, the transformation, it's obvious in the transformation how it does borrow a lot, like sort of a skeleton from that mold, but I mean, this looks really good. And it's got like that sort of classic Optimus Prime color scheme where you've got the red up top, the gray thighs, the blue shins and knees and feet. And it looks really good. It really does. I even have no real problem with the large shoulder guns, which I know are supposed to be there because that's what the Super Ginrai or Power Master Optimus Prime had. But again, I really like the more vibrant colors that are on this versus what I've seen from Power Master Optimus Prime. And just like the little touches of paint detail that are kind of all over this thing, where you've got like little there, a little yellow in the knees, just like a little bit of red and white in the pelvis area. And then you've got, of course, you do have the cab, and then this flips up, and rather than covering up the entire cab, it actually sort of enhances it by adding more detail to it, where you've got now this little strip going up the middle, and this like bluish metallic that kind of matches the windows, and the little engine there that, as I understand it, is in the original toy like a little dude. Yeah, it's a nice looking chest. Arms look nice. The texture is not quite on point to, say, typical Titan's Return, because it's not technically a Titan's Return figure, but still not bad. Still not bad, and I like these forearms too. I like how they're a little bit more bulked out, and it's like a little piston detail there. And surprisingly, I'm finding myself to be actually a bit of a fan of when they do these with the hands, where you've got like the fingers are one color and then the rest of it is like another color. And I think that looks really good. It almost kind of makes me think like they're wearing gloves, which I know a giant robot doesn't need to wear gloves, but it's a neat look. I like it. So I like how that works, how you've got just like the red going all the way down and then just the blue fingers. And on the backs of the arms, I like how this is what the divots are for, and that's actually some neat detail that you see on the underside that doesn't even necessarily need to be there because it's the back of the arms, but it works. It looks good. I'm into it. Of course, then you also have the giant gap in the fist there, but whatever. I can live with it. And I know some people have complained about this not sitting flush, but I actually kind of like that it doesn't, because it allows you to completely straighten out the arm. And if that was flush, that would be banging up against stuff. And, you know, it flattens out enough, and it's on the, like it can go down, but it kind of soft locks into place, so you don't have to worry about it flopping around, which is just fine. And of course, you have the giant Optimus Prime head, which does look good. And I like that the Titan Master is situated in just such a way. I get a little bit of, I think I scratched a little bit of paint off the faceplate there. But yeah, I like how it's situated in just such a way that you can actually see the eyes through there. And there is some nice detail on the oversized head. And of course, this little bit on top. And this thing, again, still some nice detail there. It's just tiny in comparison to everything else. And of course, there are the feet. And I don't mind these feet at all. Like, they're definitely unconventional looking, but I'm totally okay with that. It's aesthetically, the feet don't bother me. Mechanically, I find them a little bit problematic because they're just tricky to get to really kind of sit down right. And it also is unfortunate that the heels, when they transform, they bend up. So, I mean, I may just go in there with a screwdriver and tighten them up a little bit. If they could just like soft lock into place, because they're attached to this piece here. So there's no reason why they couldn't. I don't know. I mean, he stands. He's not that, he's not a huge, getting him to stand isn't a huge problem, but it would make me feel a little better if those heels were a little more solid. But other than that, I mean, I like the look of this figure, I do. Right down to the odd feet. I think they're honestly fine. They don't bother me at all. And if I do get the God Bomber armor, I think he's going to look really cool with that. But like I said, still not entirely decided. But I do really like the look of Super Ginrai. Might as well do some comparisons now. You got Samus. and a Titans Return Deluxe. So yeah, he's ever so slightly taller than regular Power Master Optimus Prime or Ultra Magnus just because of those feet, but he's pretty much the size you expect, which is fine. So yeah, Super Ginrai, I do not regret getting him in the sense that I don't feel like I own two of the same toy, because Ultra Magnus is his own thing, and especially with the upgrade kits, he's, you know, much more distinct, I think. And then Super Ginrai is, again, like, there's the skeleton is there, but there's enough different with like the cab wrapping around the legs and the arms, the headmaster or Titan Master thing, the chest plate, all that stuff. Like he's definitely different looking. And with regards to the cab wrapping around the legs, I don't mind that look in the slightest. The only thing that annoys me is there are these divots here that I'm assuming were put in because it allows you to bend the knee a little bit better, which is fine. I appreciate that. But it's like, while we were in the process of doing that, couldn't we have trimmed these corners down a little bit more so that we could like have them standing and not have these banging into each other? It would have been nice, is all I'm saying. And this doesn't want to... Not sure what happened there. But anyway, you know, just a couple of little things that I'm kind of like, with Super Ginrai, but ultimately he is really neat. He is. He's... Honestly, I like Blaster, but of the two leader class Titans Return, although I know technically this isn't Titans Return, but it is, honestly, even though it's Takara. Of the two leader class figures that I have from Titans Return, essentially, I definitely prefer him over Blaster. Super Ginrai is pretty cool. I mean, I don't think Blaster's bad, but there's a bit more to him that I can appreciate. And also, I mean, I am looking forward to the God Bomber armor, but it's still on the fence. Still on the fence because of shelf space. But anyway, I think that is enough of that. So that has been my look at the Legends, I guess. The Takara Legends Super Ginrai. In another month, I might be getting God Bomber armor. I might not. If you follow me on Twitter, chances are you'll figure out whether or not there's going to be a God Bomber video coming before it actually shows up. But I'm still kind of on the fence. But regardless, he is neat in his own right. He just may not end up being, you know, for me personally, he may not be something that I'll opt to keep versus some of the other stuff that I've got. We'll see. I will deal with that when when it gets closer to the God Bomber release. But anyway, thank you everybody for watching. As per usual, feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Any combination of those three would make me a happy Rob. And remember, art is more than meets the eye.